What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. If this is your first time joining me, thank you. Appreciate you watching. You should go check out my Conspiracy Theories 101 video. I think I'd change the name to We Were Right, the history of conspiracy theories. It sounded better. But it's a really good one. We talk about the history of conspiracy theories, go through a few that are real, and I will be adding to that series as well. And we'll do some more deep dives on conspiracy theories and the evidence behind them, or lack thereof. So check that out, and keep an eye out for the rest of the series. I don't know when it'll be out, but soon. Conspiracy theories can be fun. I like diving into them, but mostly I'm interested in the truth. So if you're looking for a yes man to every single one of these conspiracy theories, I'm probably not your guy. But if you would like to know the truth about some of these, maybe some evidence, I may do a little research into some of these so that I can have more of an idea of what I'm talking about, because I'm not an expert, neither are you. So, and I'm happy to admit if I'm wrong about something. So if you have an argument against one of my opinions in one of these videos, please let me know in the comments. I'm just rambling at this point. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
So tell me, do you believe, was Disney trying to tell us something? Crazy, right? Some things are just an optical illusion, right? Well, is this an optical illusion?
It's a frog.
Look at that and tell me you don't know what that is. Go ahead and tell me that confidently and mean it, because you know darn well what that is. You can see it. No, that's not a carving. That's a petrified animal from the days of old.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yep.
It's freaking nature, and it's freaking awesome.
Yes, it is. And I don't think science can properly explain how these animals were petrified so quickly to where they were able to preserve their form through all these years. And you know, that really got me thinking. There's plenty of statues on this earth that are thousands of years old. Now, what if they were petrified beings? Now, I know it's just a thought. And yeah, I can't wait for the Mount Rushmore jokes. And you can joke all you want, but I promise you truth is stranger than fiction.
Well, I mean, I think the giants probably could have walked the earth at some point. I think it's a possibility. I don't know that Disney would be like giving us warnings or secrets about it in their movies. I think they're probably just making a movie. Yeah, it reminds me of this, like, not a real conspiracy theory that I fully believe in, but like just like a fun one that I think it would be interesting if it was true, is that all of our like mythology and stories from thousands of years ago, that they're all based on real things, like the mythology of the gods and everything. Like, I think it would be really interesting if those were all based off of real things, like of Zeus and Hercules and who else? Medusa. Like Medusa. Maybe Medusa was turning all these things into statues, you know? That's her whole thing, right? But please, for the love of everything, if your primary source of information for proof that giants are real is the Bible, nothing against the Bible. The Bible's great. Lots of great lessons in there and everything, but I think it's a little silly to act like it's all completely 100% factual and none of it is written in allegory, you know? I know I'm not trying to make anybody mad, man. I'm just, you know, it's my belief that the Bible is written in allegory. With that being said, I mean, the Nephilim, however you say it, that could have been real. I don't know. Lots of people in the past certainly believed in it. And the only reason I said the thing about the Bible is because like half of the comments on that video are like, the giants are real, they were in the Bible. It's like, if that's like your end-all be-all for information and proof, then I don't know. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you.
Theories that were proven real.
Part 3.
China dinosaur theory. According to this theory, China found an island that is full with dinosaurs. A woman that was for vacation in China reportedly saw it on the news itself. They said that it was an expedition of 15 people to an uncharted island, and there were found multiple new dinosaur species.
That is not what they found. They found an island with dinosaur fossils on it that they didn't think had dinosaurs on it before. So frustrating. Like, shouldn't the truth be what we're after in conspiracy theories? Like, not clicks, not sensationalist headlines, but shouldn't we be worried about the truth? Shouldn't that be the one thing that's the most important? So you get people like nearest discoveries posting crap like this. It really just muddies the waters for people that actually care about the truth in conspiracy theories. It's still cool that they found a bunch of dinosaur fossils on an island that they previously were undiscovered. People want Jurassic Park to be real so bad.
Do you remember the monoliths back from 2020? Yes. There was the one that was found in Utah, and then one appeared in Romania, and then one showed up in California. A fourth one showed up in Las Vegas, and then after the Las Vegas one was the one in Great Britain. Those ones were the ones that got the most publicity, but there was another one found in New Mexico and in Canada, but there are even more than just these ones.
That doesn't look real.
And I know there was a YouTube group who said that they were the ones that built the monoliths and put them there. And then another group of artists came forward and said they were the ones who put the monoliths there. And it just seemed like everybody wanted to be responsible for the monoliths. And out of nowhere, the monoliths just vanished. It seems like there's hella people that stepped forward and said it was them and claimed responsibility, and multiple people had proof that they were the ones building them. I thought it was super weird when I was Googling it and trying to find any information, and it said 2016. Like, it was 2020, and then created in 2016. Any other information I tried to search for, it said that there was no answers. Like, something went wrong, something went wrong, something went wrong. So I'm like, what went wrong? Am I missing something, or is there something weird going on?
Let's look into it, shall we? Apparently there's another one in Wales as of like 2 weeks ago. It is weird. On the Wikipedia page for the Utah monolith, it does say 2016. It was unlawfully placed on public land between July and October 2016. Oh, it says it stood unnoticed for over 4 years until its discovery and removal in late 2020. Huh. Now, how do they know that it was placed in 2016 if it stood unnoticed for over 4 years? That's weird. But yeah, apparently one was found on a hillside in Wales, United Kingdom. When was this from? This article was written March 14th. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. Huh. There's a quote in here that says, as far as the timeline, for all we know, it could have been placed there 50 to 60 years ago, and because of the material it's made out of, it hasn't weathered. It was meant not to. Weird. I almost wonder if this is like hardcore promo for a remake of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Imagine if they've been playing the long game on us this whole time. Or maybe since these things went unnoticed, allegedly, they've been there since they were doing promo for that movie. Back in, what was that, like the 80s, I think? Oh, 1968. The movie's way older than I thought. I thought it was the 80s. Great movie, though. Weird one, but great. And I didn't even know this, but apparently 2001: A Space Odyssey is based off of it was written in 1948, but published in 1951, a short story called The Sentinel. I had no idea. I thought that was just a Kubrick thing. I never really looked into the history of this movie, but interesting. I'm gonna have to go read that. So it makes sense. The Roswell crash happened in 1947. This guy, a year later, decided to write a short story kind of based on that. But yeah, I don't know what's up with these monoliths, man. They're weird. I remember them happening in 2020, or being talked about, discovered, or whatever. But yeah, the weirdest thing to me is that the Wikipedia page for the monoliths, it says that they were placed there in 2016. If they went unnoticed and undiscovered, I just don't understand how they knew. Apparently, over 200 monoliths were found after that first one in Utah was found. I didn't realize there were that many. In some cases, local artists came forward to claim responsibility for them, citing the Utah monolith as their inspiration. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were copycats. It is weird how something as simple as like a 3-sided steel structure with no markings or anything can just lead to all these wild speculations about what it could be. Don't get me wrong, I speculate too. Man, 2020 was... what a weird year.
I've read every theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them are they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a 1/4 inch there, a 1/2 inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion.
Yeah. Hey, I know people have their opinions about Joe Rogan, but I'm with him on that for sure, because, man, the pyramids trip me out. If you missed my Out of Place Artifacts video, we do talk about the pyramids in that, because they are out of place. They don't belong 2500 BC. I personally believe they were built long before that, and that the Egyptians found them, and then thought that they were significant in some way, shape, or form. I'm uneducated, so, I might be wrong about that, but that's just my belief. I think with the water erosion around the Sphinx, and given the last time that water was in that area, it would make sense that at the very least the Sphinx is way older than that, like 10,000 years older than that. So the last time there was water in that area was during the Younger Dryas, and that was like 12,000 BC or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, 12,900 to 11,700 years BP, which I think is BC. Before present. That's the new thing we're using, isn't it? Yeah, instead of BC and AD, it's before present. The more you know. So boom, here you go. This is all the area. This is all the area we're in now. This is where we're at. And this is the Younger Dryas. And that's the last time that water was near Giza. And that's, 12,000, 13,000 years ago. That is not 3,500 BC. Like I said, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert, but that seems to make sense to me. Like I said, covered it a little bit in my Out of Place Artifacts video. I'll link it at the end of this one. But the Y-Files does a really, really good, like 45-minute long video on the pyramids and stuff. Yeah, go check that out. After this, obviously. After you're done watching all of my videos.
Satan's true name is God. We are not supposed to be calling upon the name God, and I'm going to show you. So I'm reading from the book of Enoch, which was removed from our Bibles. This is referring to a type of angels and their names. And the third was named Gadriel, or shortened would be God. He it is who shown the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve. So this is literally talking about Satan, the one who led astray Eve, right, in the garden. His true name is Gadriel, which shortened would be God. Now, if you go on Google and you type in God definition, you'll see this little name pop up next to it, G-A-D, God. The same way it's pronounced in Enoch, with that little vowel point above the A. Now look at this. Baal God means Lord of Fortune. Why do you think on the back of our money it says, in God we trust? It's not talking about the Most High of the Bible. This is a reference to Satan, the evil one. Now check this out. Every time you see Baal in the scriptures, it actually is just the Hebrew word for Lord. So we're not supposed to be calling him Lord either. Right? Go into the Blue Letter Bible, click on Baal, and you will see it literally means Lord, which is the name they planted over the name Yahuwah 7,000 times in the scriptures. Every time you see in all caps the Lord, it was originally his name, Yahuwah. If you don't believe me, go fact check me. I have studied to show myself approved, and I'm just revealing to you guys what I have found. Don't shoot the messenger. Now remember what I said, we're not supposed to be calling him Lord because it actually means Baal. Go to Jeremiah 23 verse 27, whose true name is Yirmiyahu, who attempt to cause my people to forget my name for Baal, or Lord. Remember guys, Satan is literally the father of lies. Look at this. However, the word Baal means Lord. Look it up. Right, a proper terminology would be Elohim or Elohim. It means mighty one. But we should really be calling upon his name. Now, I can confidently say that the Most High knows our hearts. Right, and he is abundant with grace and mercy. But now that you have this information, do your research on the name of Yahuwah and pray about it. Right, don't treat this pearl like a swine. We all need to study to show thyself approved, right? That is a duty that we all have. So don't just push this aside and continue to say God. Go do some research and prayer. I'll see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like and follow.
Don't forget that part. Yeah, I mean, look, you guys know my opinion about the Bible. I think it's, like I said a little bit ago in this video, I believe that it's written in allegory, but I also believe that the Bible has been translated so many times. Even if the Bible was fully like a record of history, I think it's been translated so many times by whoever the powerful was in that time period of the translation. Do you think they just translated everything correctly, or do you think they might have switched some stuff up so that they can maintain power and control? I personally don't believe that the Bible, the modern day Bible that we have today, is even close to what the original Bible was. I think it's been mistranslated on purpose many, many times. If you don't believe me, look at Emperor Constantine. Wait, was it Emperor Constantine? Yep, I was right. Emperor Constantine, around between, wait, let me get this right. He lived from 274 to 337 AD. So, 250 to 300 years after Jesus died, this guy decided which books were actually going to go in the Bible. Emperor Constantine was the one who decided what is canon in the Bible at the Council of Nicaea? I don't know how to say it, to be honest. Never heard it said, but Nicea. So do you think Emperor Constantine, 250 to 300 years after Jesus died, would have known which books belonged in the Bible and which didn't? So yeah, there are lost books of the Bible that didn't make it into the final cut. I'm trying to get that Zack Snyder director's edition, you know what I mean? The Book of Enoch is really interesting. I've read through it a little bit, and, you know, whether it's real or not, I don't know, but it talks about aliens and all kinds of crazy stuff. So maybe it is. If you watch my channel for a while, you know, I believe that the creator or whoever was in charge of giving us the Bible, I think they were probably aliens. I think thousands of years ago, when people didn't understand technology or anything, if they saw somebody flying on a spaceship, they would think they were a god. Wouldn't you? Like, I would think, you know? Yeah, it is interesting. I think I've actually had a discussion in the chat before on one of my videos with some of you about how if you go off of my belief that things have been mistranslated so many times, then who's to say that somebody evil didn't run that scheme at some point and switch everything around? So all the things that we think are evil are actually the good thing, and all the things that we think are the good thing are actually the evil thing. And that's kind of what this guy is saying. Like, you're not supposed to pray to God, apparently. And then last thing I'll say on that is, if God or the creator, whatever you want to call it, if they are all powerful and all knowing and omnipotent, then you think they're going to get caught up on like what you call them? Or do you think they're probably just going to know what's in your heart and know what you're trying to say? I think they're going to be like, oh, they said God, that's not a message for me, that's for the evil one. Like, no. I think the all-powerful creator would probably know that you're trying to be a good person and have a conversation with them. Just me. Oh, and last thing, don't hate me if you're like super religious, and like we can have a difference of opinions, it's fine. I do find it weird when Christians get really mad at me when I'm not like super gung-ho on the Bible or something, because isn't your whole thing to spread the message and to love the people that haven't found Christ? Like, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? But instead you're just like, oh, I liked your content 5 minutes ago, but now you said this thing that I don't like, and now I hate you. It's like, you're weird, buddy.
You weird, buddy.
This whole Stephen Hawking's being on the list reminds me of a conspiracy I heard. That Stephen Hawking wasn't even actually a real person, but a character. So before he had a robot talking for him, he had a translator.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist, or model railways, or playing complicated games. Was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me.
People are questioning how someone translates those grunts into actual sentences. It just doesn't add up to them.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist.
Like, how is that being translated? It's like Han Solo translating for Chewbacca. Now, kind of how the media uses children as shields, people believe that Stephen Hawking was used as a shield, that he was an actual person with actual ALS. But if people questioned anything he said, like his research on the Big Bang Theory, and attacked him for that, oh, how dare you attack somebody with ALS? How dare you attack somebody that's crippled? Kind of how the media use children today and go, how dare you attack a child? Whenever an angry mob questions their opinion, people are less likely to do so because of that. It's called empathy. But what do you think? Was he just a puppet? Or can you really translate grunts like that?
Huh. Well, I did not know that. I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea he had a translator originally. Yeah, it is weird. I don't know how you translate what was coming out of him. I don't want to call him grunts. That sounds rude. But, you know, how do you translate like that mumbled speech like that? That's crazy. It was cool to see that Khalil guy not eating something for once. I don't know how that dude stays so skinny. I guess he's always eating fruit and stuff. That's fair. Yeah, I was going to say, and there's comments in here. That's what reminded me I was going to say this. But it could have just been that that guy was around him so much. He did know what he was actually saying. That's a possibility. This is his first comment. My mother had Huntington disease, and it's a lot like Stephen Hawking. I was the only one who understood her. It's easy when you're around them every day. And that I believe. I do believe that, you know, if somebody's really close, like maybe his caretaker that's with him every single day, they would probably eventually start realizing what he's saying. But just real quick, if you're using the Daily Mail as evidence, like, yeah, no. Whether you believe Greta Thunberg was, you know, being used as a voice for something greater than her or whatever, it is a little weird how she was just kind of everywhere, wasn't she? Like, why wasn't she in school? How was she getting money to travel to all these conferences and go do all these speeches around the world and stuff? I don't know. It seems weird. That whole situation seemed weird. I agree with her message. I think global warming is probably real, but I can agree with her message while also thinking that situation was kind of off, you know?
World's smartest kid thinks that CERN blew the world up in 2008.
Maybe that fucking kid is right.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred from form to form. But if there are an infinite number of universes, then there's 100% chance that this happened. At least maybe in another universe, maybe not ours. Then again, there's also an infinite chance that this is our universe.
Joe Rogan and the world's smartest kids seem convinced that CERN is the epicenter of world-altering experiments. Maybe they're looking in the wrong direction. Like the true architects of reality-bending science are just toiling away, not in the spotlight of CERN, but in dark corners so secretive even their existence is a state secret. Quantum reality hacking, consciousness transference, time manipulation, experiments that don't just bend time, but fold it, altering the past through the present, or universal simulation control. Maybe they're manipulating the parameters of our simulated universe. Tell me what you think in the comments. Where's the real Pandora's box, CERN or secret shadow labs?
That's a good point. Since the beginning of my getting into conspiracies when I was a teenager, I've always thought if we know about it, it's probably not as big of a deal as the stuff we don't know about. Because the stuff we don't know about that we'll find out in 50 years or something, that's the stuff that's real messed up. I'm going to probably cover it in a future conspiracy theories video, but there's the Project Stargate, where the CIA was conducting experiments to try to understand astral projection. It was a real thing. There's an entire document on the CIA website. You can go check it out. I read it. It's good. Really interesting. They talk about astral projection and lucid dreaming, I think. I don't know. It's been a few years since I read it, but yeah, I will probably cover that in my next deep dive conspiracy theories video, because that is one of the most interesting things that I think the American government has ever done. But CERN doing some weird stuff, man. What's your opinion? Do you think they messed up our timelines in 2012? It wasn't the Mayan calendar, it was actually CERN? It's possible. All I ask is that next time CERN decides to jump us into a new reality, can you do one where I don't have to pay rent anymore? Can you do one that's disease free and people aren't hungry around the world and people aren't struggling and suffering? Can you do a non-capitalist universe next time? That'd be tight. I'm gonna piss so many people off with this video. You fucking commie.
So I just had something really, really scary happen, and I don't know if this lady is telling the truth. If she is, I think that people need to listen to it and maybe look into it. If she's not telling the truth, then it's just something crazy. So about 10 minutes ago, my boyfriend and I are leaving my apartment complex in his truck. And at the same time that we're leaving, we see a lady driving in, and we look over and she's taking pictures of us. So my boyfriend's the type of guy where he's not just going to be like, that was weird. So he instantly goes in reverse and she takes off. So she's driving down the complex and then we're following her and she parks. So he's like, hey, it was a girl. So you get out and ask her why she was taking pictures. So I'm like, okay. So I go right up to her window and I knock on it and I go, roll your window down. And she's going, no. And I'm like, roll your window down. And she's like, no, no. So after about 4 times of asking her, she finally cracks it. And I go, can you roll your window down? So she rolls it down and I go, were you taking pictures of us? And immediately she's like, no, this is what's going on. And she grabs her phone and she's shaking, trembling. You can't even look at her phone. She's shaking so much. She goes, I'm being stalked and followed. And she pulls out her phone and she starts showing me her camera roll. And her whole camera roll is zoomed in pictures of random cars. And she goes, the elite sent people after me. She's like, sent people after me. She goes, I was on trial for O.J. Simpson, and she starts showing me pictures in a courtroom, zoomed in pictures of O.J. Simpson. Her passenger seat has piles of documents, redacted statements and stuff like that, court documents, pictures of his glove, all of this stuff. She shows me a Zoom call screenshot of her talking to random men.
She said the Kardashians.
It's they sent people to hunt me down and kill me. She's like, the Illuminati is real. She's like, you're young, you probably know the Illuminati is real. She's like, no one's believing me. Everybody that I tell thinks I'm crazy. And she's like, no one believes me. And she's like, and I need help. And I was just like, I don't know what to say because I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And she basically just went on for another 5 minutes straight. I was standing at her window and my boyfriend was watching me 20 feet away. And she just kept going and showing me pictures and pictures and documents and books and passes to get into courthouses and all of this shit. And she literally was just crying about how she's terrified to even leave her house. And then so I was like, do you live in here? In the complex that I live in? And she just goes sometimes. And then I asked her too, I'm like, your car is a driver car, you have a number on the back of it and it's a really nice blacked out SUV, is this your car? And she goes, she insinuated that she was driving it just because she was driving it, so I'm assuming she rented it or something so that she didn't have to drive her normal car, so she was more hidden. So I didn't get her name. I didn't get any more information than what she told me. She told me a lot of shit about the court case, about the O.J. Simpson thing. She told me a ton of stuff about stuff that's been happening to her, and I don't know if I should say all of it because I don't want to make it worse for her if this goes viral or something. but I just thought I'd share it on here. Maybe someone knows something about it, or if you guys have any thoughts about it, or if like maybe people can look into it, something like that. I don't know.
Check this girl's page out. This girl ain't even like a conspiracy theorist TikTok. She does like get ready with me's and stuff of her dog. Huh. And that's weird. Obviously, you know, like she could have made all that up, of course. But usually people that do that kind of stuff are like conspiracy theory content creators. And I'm not gonna lie, she didn't seem like she was lying. She seemed like she was telling the truth. If she wasn't telling the truth, she rehearsed that story really well. I guess my question would be, why the O.J. Simpson trial? Wasn't that like almost 30 years ago? Like, why would wouldn't they have gotten her a long time ago? Like back before the internet and everything? We think they would have done that. Or maybe she's, I guess she could have been referring to the newer O.J. Simpson trial, which is weird. And the times it blanked out and said very famous family, it said it really faint. I could hear it in my headphones. It probably won't come across on the video, but she said the Kardashians. I mean, I totally believe in secret society types of things. I don't know if it's the Illuminati or the Freemasons or the Rosicrucians or whoever. You know, this is another one I don't fully believe, but I think it's a possibility that the real, like, secret group that's running everything, it doesn't have a name. That part I fully believe. But the part that I'm kind of either way on is, what if there is a group that's secretly running everything and they let us know who the Illuminati is, who the Rosicrucians, who the Freemasons are, so that we can be distracted by that when they might just be the ones holding the secrets? Because that's what all those groups were originally. They were just groups that would get together to share their knowledge. You know, again, not fully buying into that. I don't know, you know, the Illuminati's probably evil. They probably drink baby blood and stuff. I don't know. But it is interesting that we know about all of them and we think they're all evil. But don't you think if there was a real secret group running the world, they wouldn't want us to know who they are? Definitely, that's a weird video. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. That girl's name was Callie Koa on TikTok. She's got like 1.5 million followers. She's not like a random person that nobody knows. And again, you saw her page. It's not like she's posting a bunch of crazy conspiracy theory stuff and then posts this. And that's from 5 days ago. Which by the time this video comes out, that will be 6 days ago. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. You think she was telling the truth? And oh, the last thing is, at first I was like, if the woman taking the pictures is being followed, why is she taking pictures of you? But then my guess would be that she's taking pictures of any cars she thinks are following her, so that she can see if you can keep track and see if any of them are the same car. Because I mean, that's something I would do. So I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think? That was a weird one. I don't know.
Do y'all remember how creepy Justin Bieber's Yummy video was? Let's start off with the promotion for the song. Justin had uploaded over a dozen pictures of babies onto his Instagram page with the hashtag Yummy underneath. In the music video, you can see Justin eating at a table, enjoying food with a bunch of the elite or rich people. He's enjoying a sandwich until gross food starts coming out. Then he's no longer eating, but all the rich people at the table are still eating the gross food, still participating in the gross acts. And towards the end of the music video, you see a plate with a baby Justin Bieber on it, and it says Yummy. During the filming of the music video, Justin Bieber had a panic attack and had to stop filming for a while. And when asked by Ellen what Yummy meant, this is what Justin had to say.
What were you thinking of when you wrote that Yummy?
Yeah, my sex life.
Okay.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm married, you know?
Yeah, so you got that Yummy.
That's what it is, you know?
Yep, Yummy.
Woo! Is it getting hot in here?
Yeah, it was about his sex life. And then y'all find it weird how he was sipping tea in front of Ellen and got a little nervous. Y'all tell me what you think Yummy was really all about.
Now, let me just come to my house. You come and stay. Would you like to come and stay?
And make sure to hit that follow button, because part 2, I dive in deeper to what I think it's about. And things get weird.
All right, shit, I guess I'll go find part. All right, he lied. He didn't do a part 2. Khalil, if you're watching this, you're not. I'm waiting for that part 2, brother. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, we just had that documentary come out last week about the Nickelodeon kids. You think that wasn't happening in the music industry too? I've always thought that about Justin Bieber, man. I'm sure he saw some stuff that kids shouldn't be exposed to. You notice he's taken a step back from all the industry and the fame and all that, right? I do find that interesting. One of the biggest, if not the biggest pop star in the world is just like, hey, I don't want any of this anymore. Let me go be in seclusion for a little bit. And yeah, speaking of that, here, let's watch this last one.
Look at Miranda seeming uncomfortable while Dan is touching her.
What can't you say? I mean, honest to God, I could go on and on about all the wonderful qualities about Miranda, but I know time permits, and I will consolidate it to just this one thing. In all the years I've known Miranda, I guess 9 years now, she hasn't changed. Miranda hasn't changed one bit. All those awesome qualities that she had when she was 9 years old, all the goodness, all those smiles.
Let me know if I'm overreacting. And make sure you hit that follow button because I have a whole deep dive coming.
She looks like she's crying in that picture. Oh, God, that made my stomach turn, dude. That was, I didn't like that one. Ah, I feel gross right now. Shouldn't have watched that one. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, like, this stuff was happening to Nickelodeon kids. I'm sure it was also happening to Disney kids, Cartoon Network kids. Well, did Cartoon Network ever have kids? I think about it. I think Cartoon Network might be all right. I don't know that they ever had, like, original programming that had kids in it. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, sure it happens to the music industry kids, too. Messed up. Yeah, I remember when Justin Bieber was first blowing up, and I was like, why is Usher so obsessed with this kid? Usher just happened to find this kid. Look, I don't know. I ain't getting too deep in that for sure. But yeah, definitely some weird stuff. The weirdest thing to me is the posting pictures of babies with the hashtag yummy. No thank you. But there you have it, folks. That is another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. If you have your own theories about something we saw today or some other conspiracy theory you would like me to look into, please let me know in the comments. Merch shop is live. We got beanies, tie-dye beanies. We got Gym Crew shirts. Go get your own Gym Crew shirt. Wear it in the world with pride. We got hoodies, sweaters, stickers. We got all kinds of stuff in there. Go check it out. Do have a couple of affiliate links in the bottom of the description of this video. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check it out. At the beginning of this video, I talked about my out of place artifacts video, so I'll link that right up at the top. And if you haven't seen it, go check out my history of conspiracy theories video. We take a look at some proven real life conspiracy theories that happen. We do a deep dive on the history of the term and where it comes from, and I think it's a really good video, so you guys go check it out. I'll link it right over there. Boom. Don't forget to join me every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday for a brand new video at 4:15 PM PST. Come hang out. Talk to me in the chat. I'm always there. Unless I'm not, which isn't very often, but sometimes it happens. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. I don't know. I think I covered it all. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, seek the truth